The Packers will have a first and goal. Receiver to the right, Jimmy Graham. Rodgers, quick toss in the flat, left side, got his man for the end zone, and a touchdown.
First and Goal podcast on Spreaker.com. And we're now on all your favorite platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Tumblr, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can always follow us on Twitter at First and Goal Pod, and our Facebook page, facebook.com/First and Goal Pod 33.
Get money, yeah. Every day I'm hustling. 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 3, 2, 1.
And welcome everybody to another live edition of First and Goal with me, your founder and producer, Jay in the UP. And as always, your host with the most down in Georgia, it's Dave.
What's going on, First and Goalers? Man, I'm kind of let down right now. I just got some news for breaking news across the NFL, Jay. Antonio Brown, the next chapter has unfolded. He has a federal lawsuit filed now by a district attorney, the DA, for 2 counts of sexual assault and 1 count of rape. And they have full-blown evidence to this. I've been reviewing it for the past 10 minutes. Stuff has been coming out from TMZ. I can't read the lines off specifically, folks, because they're very vulgar. They cuss a lot, and it's some really bad words in there. It's even worse for my ears, and I don't want any of our listeners listening to that, especially because if we might have some younger people listening, we don't need to put that on the air. All I'm saying is, Antonio Brown, if this is true, you are one sick human being. You have a wife and kids, man.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, and you know what's kind of ironic, too, is that they're going to have no choice but to at least put him on the exempt list right now because of how bad it's going to look. And the Patriots just traded away one of their studs that helped them win the game last week. And so it's kind of like it's a little bit of karma on everybody here. Like, it's finally about time that the Patriots, just trying to eat up all the moronic players out there, just being greedy when they really don't need it. It's finally going to backfire on them. They got too greedy, too fast. If this is what it is, and they traded Thomas after they don't have Brown, it just kind of serves. I guess it serves them right in some aspects, because there's a reason why most teams don't take risks on guys like this, because it ends up biting you in the butt more times than not.
Yeah, but for this, it kind of, when you first read the statement put out by the lawyers for Antonio, it sounded like a money grab, which I get it. It's their job. They're trying to make the client sound not guilty. But then the text messages just came out, Jay, and they're fully damning. They're from Antonio Brown's phone. And, the first line he basically admits to one of the counts of sexual assault. So I have lost all respect for this man because he was very unprofessional on the football level, but now it's off the field matters, and it's a really bad situation.
Yeah, okay, let's just move on from that because I don't even need to get into this. I'm
not trying to get anyone fired up. It's breaking news, brother. I got to put it out, man.
No. I understand that, and I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, before we get worked up,
you'll be mad at me, Dad.
Let's move on.
Anyways, we got a couple other news. Little fun fact. I think the Packers would support this idea, and the Packers fans. Lions tried out Josh Jones today. I was rooting for this because he's horrible in coverage, folks. I really think they should sign him. So then that way we can just watch the Packers wide receivers, whoever he's covering, just burn him every route.
Well, that kind of comes to another thing. Let's because Andy's probably not going to get into this kind of stuff with us. He's going to be more analytical and professional, which is great. Okay, so before we get him on in just a few minutes, let's get rivalry. Did you listen to the Hallis Hall Brawl thing from yesterday, their post-game thing?
Oh, yeah. Took a little listen. I actually called them out on Twitter a little bit ago, and I haven't gotten an answer back since. They were coming up nitpicking.
I also put the picture out there when I was doing, because Dave and I have broke it up. I'm in charge of watching the offense, all 22, and he's watching the defense, all 22. I'm about halfway through the second quarter right now, about the fourth or fifth drive, somewhere there.
Yeah, I'm only about through the first quarter. I got off of work late, so I've been kind of delving into it, but still, I'm sorry that these guys try nitpicking, saying the tackles of Bulaga and Bakhtiari are offsides. I'm sorry, false starting almost every other play because their foot is put too far back. Well, put too far back. Well, let me explain this real quick. It doesn't matter where your left foot is. It matters where your hips connect. Your right hip to the left hip of the guard. As long as it's that parallel, it connects the line and being on the line of scrimmage. So, I mean, the whole foot thing, they don't even move when the ball's snapped anyway, guys. I mean, that's why I said it's kind of a little bit of homering or nitpicking at the smallest stuff to try and say why the Packers...
No, I still shotted this exact thing because they weren't even just saying about the left foot. They were saying that they were moving before the ball was snapped on top of it all, even if that wasn't a rule. I proved that ball and those two tackles, who are both, by the way, looking in at the ball. They're not looking at the guys that are premier pass rushers that they're about
making
to have
sure
to
they're
block.
timing it. Yeah.
They are looking at the ball. And I still shotted that bitch. As soon as Lindsley moved the ball, those tackles moved, and guess what happened in that still shot? It couldn't have been more perfect. The still shot,
and
the guards are not moving. The tackles and the ball are moving for us. Nobody else is moving. Not the quarterback, not anybody else, except for the center and the two tackles. The entire defense at that point ain't doing nothing. None of them are moved. In fact, number 94, who's left lined up on the right side or the left side of the defensive line, he's still in his frickin' knee on the ground, ain't even gotten his pass rushing stance yet. So, Hallis Hall, guys, stop it. You were caught there, and you were homering, and we respect you, but boy,
you gotta hold the L, guys.
Listen. Yeah, you don't think we're not going to listen, pay attention. We told you we're about the how and the why, and that means paying attention to y'all if y'all are actually true to your word and what you're saying. That's all. We caught you on that. We called you out. We got the evidence. It's there, man. And I watched that several times. And hey, look, the telecast even made a point of showing Bakhtiari doing it and all the positives, and they also showed the negative that can happen to Bakhtiari from doing that too. He got bull rushed by Floyd right into Rodgers for a sack when he was doing that because he didn't get his head turned around enough to get set for the bull rush. So they showed the good and the bad. So I'm not saying that everything's all pretty and sunshine when they do it either, guys, on Hallis Hall Brawl. But what you were saying specifically was a bunch of BS and pulling at straws, man. You guys,
Bakhtiari and Bulaga are known for their not having false starts. You'll rarely see Bakhtiari and Bulaga have false starts because of how in tune they are with Rodgers' cadence. That's the thing, Jay. How I look at it. Those two guys don't ever have penalties. It's usually either the guard that we had last year, Taylor, has jumped a little bit now and then. And, man, when we had frickin' Byron Bell or Spriggs on the outside when Bulaga went down, oh, my God, it was a false start every other play. But you never saw Bakhtiari or Bulaga do it. I can't. Yeah, when I heard that on the show when they came out and said that, that's why I called them out on top of when you did. And then they said, oh, yeah, what are we homering about? I put exactly what it was said, and they have not replied back since. Guys, we love you. We love the rivalry, but you're nitpicking here. You just got to move on, brother. It's Wednesday, or it's Tuesday. You got to move on to your next week facing Denver. It looks like a good matchup for you. Vic Fangio, Chubb, and Miller had no sacks last night. The Raiders beat Denver. Yes, it is in Denver, up in Mile High. It'll be a different environment, but, man, if that ain't motivation to beat your old DC, you should probably focus on that, guys. Game is already over. Moved on. They ain't going to change it. Just hold that L and then carry it proudly up to Denver. Love you, Alice, all.
All right. No, that's out of the way. We only got a couple of minutes, man, before we got to get Mr. Herman on the phone. So what do you got just for a couple of minutes real quick before we take our break?
So what you mentioned earlier, the Patriots, after the whole Brown situation, or before, traded Demaryius Thomas to the Jets for a sixth rounder. Demaryius Thomas. This guy, they act like he's just a washed-up old guy. I mean, he had an Achilles injury. But the thing is, he's come back and he's looked good. So I don't see a problem here with them trading him. But for a sixth rounder, I'm like, I feel like it could have been a low fourth or a fifth at least. But now you look at the Jets. They've got Anderson. They've got Anua. They've got Demaryius Thomas now. They've got Crowder. They've got weapons galore. The Jets just need to put the pieces together, guys. I think they can be really good.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And we're going to get ready to break because we got to get a hold of, that. But before we get to break,
Mr. Herman.
Before we get to break, man, we got to say this. If you want some NFL chatter out there and you got nowhere to go, you want to go to NFL Addictions on Facebook.com and get all your NFL chatter out there. Of course, it's after the show. It's not a trash talk site, folks, so be clean and be cordial. That's NFL Addictions on Facebook.com. And if you want to win something for, your man cave or that autographed memorabilia that you just are missing in your house, go ahead and go to Raz Addictions on Facebook.com for their version of the raffle. You can win all kinds of great prizes, tailgating kits, TK helmets. Tell them what you've won, Dave.
Man, I've won the barbecue tailgating set. I've won about 6 helmets. I've won memorabilia, mini helmets. I've won replica Super Bowl rings. It's just, man, it's just really fun because it's not just memorabilia. There's also money raffles in there too, and Razes that you can sit there and put in $10 and then win 100 or 200. Dope, like literally 10 times your money in one night, guys. It's definitely worth it.
That's Raz Addictions on Facebook.com. Check them out, guys. And next, it's time for Andy Herman.